Hi, Linda Winter again with Martelli Enterprises and winterdesigns.com. This is my Burp Pad template. This is one of my favorites. This template makes the Burp Pad, but it does a whole bunch more. So this Burp Pad, and again, Karen, who's videotaping me, just told me this is the perfect shape because it doesn't bunch up. What's on your back is going to make sure that all that stuff that comes out of them, the drool and everything else, stays on your Burp Pad, not on you. So we'll talk about fabrics too. So this guy here, flannel, and then inside some kind of a material. So you can do a diaper, you can do a burp cloth, you can do another piece of flannel, you can do batting, whatever it is that you want that's going to hold up. They also, just in case you know, you may not know, there's a material that's a diaper material that I've heard about that you can get online, and it's supposedly 6 times more absorbent than any other diaper out there, which would be great for a back and the inside. So that alleviates one layer. So we'll talk about how to cut this out, and you'll see me cut it out in a minute, but I want to show you some options. So this is that pre-quilted stuff, a baby style. It's already quilted. You can do this using that template. You can put a binding around it if you want, or if you're really lazy, your serger or just your sewing machine, do a zigzag or do some kind of a decorative stitch there. But the idea of this is already quilted, so that's an option for you. I'm going to pretend that this fabric that you're seeing here is nice and flannel and that it's been ironed, because it's not. So I lost all my fabric that I wanted to show you. I want to show you how to cut, and we're going to talk about the cut around the curves versus cut off. I call it cut off in the directions. And again, you've got written directions for all of this too. So my fabric's on the fold here. I've got this folded and the template's on the fold. And when I cut, what I'm going to do first is go around and then I turn the template. And what I want to do is get this so I can kind of see where I'm cutting. And as I turn the template, because it has that get a grip material on the back, I'm just turning that template as I go. Taking my time to make sure that I can see my rotary cutter. I want to see this blade as I cut. I don't want to cut here. I don't want to cut here. That gives me pain, but it also doesn't allow me to cut accurately. So that's one way to cut. I want to show you the second way. We're going to take this fabric and we're going to pretend that this is something that matches my clouds. I can't find my cloud fabric. So I've got flannel and I've got a layer of batting, and we're going to pretend that this is coordinated. When you sew this together, we'll talk about the sewing, then we'll go look at that second way to cut. When you sew, again, find a straight area like right here where you'll pin and pin or clip and clip, and that's going to be your turning area. Stitch all the way around. When you turn this right sides out, I like to do a top stitching along those edges. So a top stitch here, you can see I've gone right along that edge really close. So that's one option. So let's take a look at the second way to cut. And if you watch the baby bib templates, like which one did I just film? If you watch the baby bib template, then you'll hear me talk about the get a grip, that material that grabs, and you'll have seen the version 1 of cutting around versus cutting off. So we're going to do the cut off. So I've got this lined up along the fold of my fabric again, and what I want to do is I'm going to go straight, and instead of trying to go around the curve, I just cut off. And then I move the template, and I cut off. And then I move the template, and I cut off. What I'm doing is I'm just following around the curve, and then I just cut off. Now I turn that template completely, and I cut straight off. And as I continue on, I'm not even going to try to go around that curve. I just cut off. Cut off, and cut off. And when I get to here, I'm going to go ahead and follow around the curve, because that's pretty much along that edge. So you've got 2 ways to cut that I recommend. You can always trace around with a pen and use scissors if you're not comfortable with a rotary cutter. Okay, so that's your standard Burp Pad. That, again, with your couple layers of fabric. The front fabric I talked about on the baby bib, the fabric choices. We don't want to do anything laminated on the top. Laminated could go on the back side, because that's going to be on top of your clothing, but we don't want to do laminated on the top, because all the stuff that's coming out of the baby, the drool and everything else, it would just roll right off, and then you're going to need to wash your clothes as well as the Burp Pad. So we don't want to do that. So have some fabric that will absorb. All right, so Burp Pad. The same template makes this. I've got one color option here and another color option. So what is this? With a pocket and a pocket, and a pocket and Velcro. This is, ignore the safety pins. This is a diaper bag. It's a stroller bag. The idea is Velcro here. This is going to go over the bar of the stroller or the diaper, baby stroller or the walker bag, the walker. So this, originally when I made this template, I made it much larger for the walker bags. But my group of ladies in Pensacola told me that if you had a big one, then people would stuff it full. And the full ones will not only be overstuffed, but it will actually dump the stroller or dump the walker. So this size, they said, works best. So this can be, again, a walker bag or a stroller bag. But I also want you to think about soft Velcro here instead of the two pieces that go together. The soft Velcro, this is the arm of your couch. If you do soft Velcro, if your couch is fabric, it's not going to rip that fabric. But this becomes now an armchair caddy. An armchair caddy for your TV remote, for your cell phone, because you know we can't live without it, for the TV guide, for a notepad, paper, whatever it is. If you take notes when you're on the phone or whatever. So this becomes a nice little caddy that you can put on that armchair. Now if you're a sewer and you want to make a sewing caddy, go ahead and give another seam, add your couple seams for your tools here, and then add on top, right up here, a pin cushion. So you've got a pin cushion. You can use Velcro or you can stitch it on, however you want to do it. But this becomes a little caddy, so you can use it for that as well. So same template, same style, and here's a different color. And you can see there's that Velcro inside of there. So same template. So let's talk about something else you can do.